Hey everyone, I am back with another video, and today I am going to be reviewing NYX's Pro Fix Stick Color Correcting Concealer. If you are thinking about purchasing this product, watch to find out what you need to know before you buy. I purchased this at Ulta and it cost $9. It comes in 24 different shades. 6 of those shades are color correcting shades and the other 18 are the concealers. I purchased the shade Vanilla 05, which is a light beige with neutral tones. Pro Fix sticks to conceal, correct, and brighten in a quickie. It has a creamy stick formula infused with hyaluronic acid for the smoothest glide ever. Never dry and never draggy. It has a buildable medium coverage and a natural skin-like finish. It is transfer resistant that lasts up to 12 hours wear. Here is the product. It is a twist up concealer, and that is how big the top portion is. I am going to swatch it here on my hand. That was a stroke back and forth. It feels very creamy. I'm blending in the concealer. It is kind of like the color of my hand, so it is hard to see. On my hand, it was nice and easy to blend, so hopefully that's going to be the same on the eyes. The way I'm going to do this review is I am going to apply my foundation but leave my under eye areas without any foundation, just so that we can see how the concealer works on its own underneath the eyes. I am going to apply concealer here on the top where I usually do, and down my nose, and then maybe some other spots over the foundation so we can see how that works as well. I am going to apply one side using my hand because it's very creamy. I think that's a good way to apply one side. Other side, I'm going to use my brush. Let me go ahead and start by applying my foundation. Foundation is on, and you can see my under eyes do have some redness. I still have some of that eczema that I have been dealing with the past couple months. It's not as bad today, but I do want to cover up the redness as much as I can. I'm going to put a liquid eyeliner on my eyes, maybe just a little bit of blush and lip gloss, and then I'm going to come back on camera. It applied nicely over the foundation. It blended really easily with the brush, and it did give me some highlight in those spots that I put my concealer. Because of the eczema that I have been dealing with, my under eyes are on the drier side. I did have some Vaseline on there earlier in the day to kind of moisturize it and to prep for this, but it is still pretty dry. And that dryness is much more apparent after applying the concealer with the brush. It just appears a lot more cracked and drying on this side. When I used my finger on this side, it glided very smooth and it didn't settle into those dry spots. When I compare the two, when I'm looking close in a mirror, this side just looks more dry than this side does. It was very easy to blend out on both sides. It's just using the brush also took away some of the product. Even though I did put a little bit more in the middle to cover the redness, this side is actually much more covered than the brush side. I really like the application that it's in a stick form. It's really easy to use, quick to use, and I would definitely be able to use this on the go or if I need to get ready really fast. I'm going to wear this all day. I will do a check-in at the 4 to 5 hour mark, and then I will come back tonight and check in with you guys after wearing for at least 8 hours for the final review. So I will see you guys later. I am noticing that the concealer is clinging on to the dry areas of my under eye. It is more apparent on the right side where I use the brush. Also, I'm realizing it is not as blended. You can really see the parts where I applied the concealer and parts of my cheek where I applied just the foundation. There's a difference in color. The left side is much more blended. You can't really see that difference. It is also clinging less to my dry spots on the left side. I think my oily skin is helping with the appearance of the concealer because about 2 hours in after applying the concealer, my under eyes were looking really dry. But now that my skin is getting more oily and the oiliness may be traveling up towards the under eyes, it may just be helping with it not to appear to cling to the dry spots as much. I'm going to wear this for at least 4 more hours and then I will give you guys my final review. Start off with the price. $9 for a drugstore concealer is pretty good. There are a lot of concealers now that are much more expensive, even though they are labeled as drugstore. So $9 I think is a really good price. I love that the color range includes not only concealers, but also color correctors and different color correctors for different tones. The concealers that are available, if you look at their chart online, it does have a pretty good amount of light shades, medium shades, and darker tone shades. So I think that the variety in shades of the concealers are actually pretty good. Application is super easy. You just dot it on, and if you apply it the way that I preferred it with my fingers, really easy to do. I think it's really convenient. It's something that you can just take on the go with you. It did work a lot better using my fingers than using a brush. It blended out much more seamlessly. It just looked much smoother throughout the day, and the coverage was a lot better with applying with the fingers. About 1 to 2 hours after the initial application, I just noticed it was really clinging to my dry spots. As my face naturally got oily throughout the day, I don't know if the oil just spread up to underneath the eyes, but it did help with that dryness, and it has actually looked better the longer I've worn the concealer in regards to the dry spots. I think the coverage has stayed on pretty good, especially on this side. There are some spots kind of missing in the corner here. There's some separation, but I think the coverage stayed pretty well for the 9-hour wear time. For the parts of my face that I put the concealer over the foundation, don't know if you can see this on camera, but when I look really close, you can actually see the line that I put on my nose for the concealer. I guess with using that brush, it didn't blend out as well as I thought it did. Probably wasn't as apparent before because the foundation was masking this, but now that the foundation is kind of separated because of my oily skin and just kind of gone away over time, you can see the concealer. I actually like this concealer. It was really easy to apply. It blended out really nicely using my fingers and gave me good coverage for 9 hours wear time. I do want to say though, if I had really dry skin, I might not use this. It does cling to the dry areas, and I think my oily skin just kind of saved me on that part because it helped moisturize or make it look not too dry. Thank you guys so much for watching my review on NYX's Pro Fix Stick Color Correcting Concealer. If you want to follow me on all of my other social media, I am at Jenn Reviews on Facebook and on Instagram, and I am at JennReviews_ on TikTok. If you are looking for a certain product that I've reviewed, I do separate my playlist by brand. So all you have to do is click on their brand and you can see all of the products that I reviewed from them. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.
Do you think goodbye?